So why did markets skyrocket out of nowhere today? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and let's get straight to the point. So shortly after his Davos speech, President Trump said that he will no longer be imposing a 10% tariff on EU countries on February 1st, which was, again, that threat that we talked about a few days ago was what was presenting a lot of uncertainty into the market. I want to remind you, uncertainty causes markets to sell off, right? Anything that's speculative normally sells off when there's some form of uncertainty and or people begin to maybe reduce or take profits during uncertain times. Kind of common sense, right? But when what was presenting uncertainty is now no longer a problem, then markets tend to recover. Trump says that he has formed the framework for a future deal with respect to Greenland with the Secretary General of NATO. And this is his official post on Truth Social. So as many of you guys saw, especially on QQQ, you guys could see that all of a sudden this thing went from, what was it, like 610 per share for QQQ all the way up to highs of 620. And this happened very quickly, very aggressively, and then overreacted and markets corrected. Again, just like when they overreact on the downside and then they tried to correct, they overreacted on the upside and shortly after corrected. Markets are still up during the extended hours. I love this, right? I love this because today really did present a lot of intraday opportunity for both the bulls and the bears. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. I wanted to use myself as an example. One of the trades that I took today led to a $1,000 loss. But it's the timing that kind of just hurts a little bit. And I feel like the reason I want to use myself as an example is because I often feel like if you are a beginner, you sometimes feel like someone's watching you. And right when you sell, it's like, oh man, if I would have just held a little bit longer, I would have made money. Let me first explain. QBTS was one of the trades that as it became oversold, I bought the dip on to go long, believe it or not, right? Speculative stock. I don't normally buy the dip on these companies, but I saw it as an intraday play. I liked the risk to reward, and my position was super light. It was just a few hundred shares. As it began to consolidate and establish a support, I then got a little bit more confident. I added to my position, just a few hundred shares. It wasn't a large position because we didn't have full-on confirmation. And of course, it consolidated for a little bit longer than I felt comfortable. I already exceeded my daily goal for the day with my other trade. So because of that, I kind of want to get ahead of myself. When I saw that this thing was consolidating, overall market sentiment or direction for QBTS was bearish, I wanted to respect this. How many times have you been given the chance to get out of a bad trade? I was already down at one point I was down over $2,000. And because of this slight little recovery, I was only down about $1,000. So I was like, okay, my job is not to avoid risk. My job is to manage it. Let me keep my losses small. And $1,000 loss is something that's very tolerable for myself. So as it went back up to retest, I kid you not, I shared it with my LPP team. I want to share the timeline with you guys. I'm not even joking. Because again, it's like I can either really complain about this and be like, look, the market's against me, but no. So QBTS is running, this was a little bit before. QQQ testing support. Actually, no, it was right here. 1226. Minimizing my loss out for now. 1226. When I decided to cut losses and close out the trade, I was down about $1,000. And then I kid you not, just a few minutes later, what was that? 2 minutes later. Yes, of course. Right when I cover QBTS, QBTS shoots up. Everything is pumping. And then again, we found the news. Trump talks about no longer, wanting to implement these tariffs, these 10% tariffs to these NATO countries. 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes after getting out right around, what was that? 125 or 25.25 or 25.27. It was testing a previous resistance range. There was a lot of consolidation there. And then all of a sudden it breaks out. I can either really take that as oh my gosh, the market's against me. Why is this happening? But I have to acknowledge what actually happened. And I think the part that's really important is that I was really focused on managing and mitigating risk. When I saw that I was down $1,000, it wasn't progressing. I just didn't want to be down more on this trade. I saw that it wasn't progressing, so I decided to close it out. and manage my risk fully. That, in my opinion, is a healthy habit. And then when I shared is watching QBTS skyrocket 2 minutes after I close the trade does hurt, right? And this is what I shared with my LPP team. But I have to remember that this isn't something that I could have predicted, as no one could have predicted that 2 minutes after closing out that trade, Trump would have sent out a tweet that would have caused a catalyst-based event to cause the market to skyrocket, bringing everything up, right? Yes, it sucks because I would have not been down $2,000 or $1,000 on this trade, but the action of mitigating risk is a healthy habit always. So yes, especially when I look at it and I do the math and it's like, oh man, this $1,000 loss could have been a $5,000 gain. It was a 5% move. I could have been up so much, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? Maybe if Trump sent out a negative tweet that would have caused the market to sell off 5%, I then would have said, oh, thank goodness I cut losses, right? And I managed risk. Like that was so smart of me. But now because it's on the flip side, it's very easy based off my perspective to be like, oh man, I should have just held a little bit longer. No, I still believe that the action of managing and mitigating risk when we can't predict the future, as we never can. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But yes, we can always look back and see what we could have done better. But always ask yourself, not what happened, but was there any indication of it? And in this case, very simple, no. There was no way I would have ever been indicated that Trump was going to cancel these tariffs 2 minutes or during. It doesn't matter 2 minutes, or that it would have been today, especially after the Davos speech. Could have not predicted that. It's out of my control fully. The market is not against me. There is no conspiracy. I am not that important. I'm not that important. You're not that important. We're all not that important. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that when you feel like the market's against you, when, again, I think you're making it deeper than it has to be. It's not that serious. It's just make sure as a trader, you take trades that meet your criteria, have favorable risk to reward ratios. And when you see that the trade is no longer progressing, as that's what I saw with this one, when in doubt, never be afraid to cash out and manage and mitigate risk. And again, I still stand behind the action of cutting losses to a trade that simply was costing me money. And again, I'm happy to use myself as an example, even with a losing trade. So when you are put in a similar position, that you don't view yourself as a victim, but more as in, okay, well, this is why I decided to cut losses, regardless of what happens after, isn't important because I could have never predicted that. I again think it's super important for traders to be responsible, to take initiative and accountability for the trades they do take and the risk they choose to manage. I would rather be someone that overly manages risk than someone that never does at all. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. With that being said, again, shortly after Trump made that announcement, both gold and silver saw a sharp decline. It's very interesting that silver is trading a lot like gold when silver's utility is nothing like gold itself. It makes sense on why gold sold off due to the certainty of the market pumping and the kind of like backing of gold now is the demand will naturally drop during certain times. During uncertain times, markets drop and gold pushes up, right? Cyclical. Not necessarily the case for silver, but silver, again, is kind of doing its own thing. On top of that, wanted to share this news. President Putin says Russia is ready to contribute $1 billion to President Trump's Board of Peace. There were also a few Saudi countries, or Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken, that also said that they're willing to contribute. So again, it all sounds like good news. It's so funny how just a few hours ago, everything seems like negative news, and how we talked about it yesterday on a dime with a tweet, the sentiment can fully change for the market. And of course, after losing 1.2 or $1.3 trillion yesterday, the market today, it has gained over $700 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Might be more by the end of the day, especially including extended hours. Nonetheless, markets closed green. What it lost yesterday, it has now recovered today, which is, again, why I said in yesterday's video, right now, is a very volatile time to be trading. So if you are a beginner, maybe size down, there's nothing wrong with testing the market, but this is kind of a market where you have to have experience in knowing what kind of like not only what you're looking for, but knowing when to play it very safe during an uncertain time. But it's also a time where people can make a lot of money on both sides for both the bulls and the bears. So again, a very exciting time. I'm excited to take on the market again with you guys tomorrow, and I hope to see you there for our live trading session. So that's my recap for the day and a quick little update on the overall stock market and why it pushed up so quickly out of nowhere. And that is because Trump is canceling the 10% tariff that was supposed to start February 1st. So I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that earned a thumbs up. I'll see you tomorrow for our live trading session. And that's the second link in the description down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.